All right, getting everybody on together. This is so good. Hi. So it is Modesta and Mugoni, and we're here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube today as the second last day for registration for the brand strategy course. So we want to do something different, just in case you're like, okay, we already heard you guys about this. Why are you still here? I want you to hear a different angle of this thing. If you're an entrepreneur, first of all, please give me, well, first, let me just give you love, okay? Because I've been doing entrepreneurship for 12 years, and I've been entrepreneur for longer than that. It's been 16 years I've been in my field, and it is no small thing. So we both, as entrepreneurs, congratulate you. So mad love to you. But secondly, if you are an entrepreneur or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, could you please share this on your platform and let a friend know? I mean, you can even text someone on WhatsApp and say, these guys are on and they have something I think you should listen to, you should watch, catch them live, because what we want, Manda told me to make this quick. Yeah. Because you guys know I love to ramble. I'm already doing it. He asked me to make this quick because we should give them time for a Q&A, right? Right. So what we're doing differently today. Hey, Betha, thank you for tuning in. Who else is here? Baraka, welcome so very much. What we want to do today is really give you a simulation of what it would be like to be on the brand strategy course. Mhando will run you through really the step-by-step process of working an entrepreneur through to developing the brand strategy. Now, my role here is really to come to you and tell you why this thing is so important. Oh, you guys would say anything because you want to sell. Oh, if that's what you think, that's fine. You can go into 2020 any which way. I certainly have no plans of going into 2020 unprepared. This is why this thing is key. It gets you to articulate as an entrepreneur, because listen, anybody can just say, that's it, I'm getting up, I'm going to start a business. And most of us, really, that's how we start. We start with a passion. We probably had been serving in that area. We've been working somewhere else, doing that thing. And at some point, something clicked in you and you said, I've been doing this thing for these people for how long? I could do this for myself. And so you started out your entrepreneurial journey completely unprepared. And you're thinking, I have ticked every checklist. You guys know, if you haven't already bought my book, The African Entrepreneur's Checklist, I talk about some things you need to consider before you start out in business. So maybe you've ticked every checklist, you are now in business, and you're wondering what on earth is not happening. Mm-hmm. And Mahad is here to say it's more than just I've registered a business and I've got my brand, I've got my logo, I'm out in the market, I'm out on social media, I'm getting the likes, I'm getting the following, right. But you're not seeing that translate in your pocket. And so today, this is my little intro before I just leave it all over to Mhando. You need to know why your business exists, what specifically you want to do through your business, who you are targeting, what are their profile attributes, what are their motivators for buying. You also need to know how exactly, and this is so key, because you could know why you exist, you could have right products, mm-hmm. and even get to a point where you are so crystal clear on who you're targeting, but right. The way you're approaching them. And so either they don't know you exist, or they can't find you, or they can't find you regularly or consistently, or your product is sometimes available, sometimes not. And maybe they have to travel kilometers and kilometers to come to you, and they're thinking, really, it's not worth it. Like, I will wait to order this thing, it'll show up another way, I can get it delivered to me. So sometimes the delivery, the business model you use for your business is just as important to people in terms of the way you branded yourself, the way you positioned yourself. And so if you want to make sure I'm not missing out on any of these areas, on why I exist, making that clear to the niche market that I'm targeting, what it is exactly that I have to offer, to whom am I speaking to? I mean, we just had one of these conversations today that just because people come to you doesn't mean that they're who you are targeting. Of course, no business turns people away. Mm-hmm. Like saying, I'm sorry, I'm not targeting you, leave. But you need to be very clear when you start out. You don't stumble onto your market. You're supposed to already know who your market is before you start out in business, so that you are speaking to them. And when they hear you, they're like, you're talking to me. Like, how did you know I needed this product? I needed this service. And so that is very key. And then when you know specifically who they are, you know where to find them. So why are we on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube? Because that's where you guys are found. You guys are our people. Who are our people? They're African professionals. Some are, climbing up the ranks in their careers. Some people have started up businesses. Some people have been in business for a while, and they're looking to get from the startup to the growth stage. These are who we're speaking to. This is where we're found. Why aren't we speaking English, not Swahili? Because you guys are bilingual at least. And we're speaking to more than just Tanzanians or Swahili-speaking Africans. And so this makes it very easy for us to target and position ourselves. We're very clear about who you guys are and what it is that you need, and that's what we keep offering. So, Mhando, can you please, what I've asked of us to do today is really just give a scenario in case people are watching us and like, okay, so guys, I want to see how the brand strategy course is relevant to me and my business. Can you, and I know you want us to do this quickly so people can ask us questions, can you give us scenarios whether somebody is selling a product like brick and mortar, the hard product you can touch, or they're offering a service? What is the step-by-step process to them coming in with, I have a challenge, I have a problem, or I think I have a problem, or things are not working, to you helping them design and even deploy, like to actually implement their brand strategy? Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. And I would like to really appreciate this lady right here.
Oh,
she's doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, you guys.
So, back to what you're gonna experience out of brand strategy course. So first of all, imagine a scenario of a business consultant, and I will give him and her a name by the name of Imani.
Imani is a nice name.
Starting out, and they want to explore into, or get into this new market, which is flooded with a lot of other business consultants. And so you're trying to figure out, how am I going to position my business as a brand? How am I going to get clients, say on Facebook or Instagram, or whichever area that you want to get them, not necessarily on social media, but also maybe like in brick and mortar business. How am I going to get those clients? And so first we have a discovery call. You book a session, and then we get into this session, and it's basically trying to determine the position of your brand as it is where you are right now, and to determine why you are in that business, and what you want to achieve. And after that, after you know where you stand, then they will have you're free to go ahead and book the or to register for the session or the course, where we will now strategize on how to position your brand in the niche or in the market that you want to operate. And
I have questions before you go into the course. So the discovery call is, when I come to the discovery call, Imani comes to the discovery call, do they really need to speak branding, marketing, business language? Because not actually everybody who gets into business either studied business or even knows the technical language of business. It's just, look, I've got a thing that I want to put out there, and either I'm good at selling or I'm very good at making this product, and I just want to make sure that it gets to people. When they come to you in the discovery call, is there any type of language that you expect from them, or can they just come and say anything? Can somebody just say, I'm stuck?
Absolutely. Well, that's why, if for those of of you who managed to watch our first session,
Uh-huh.
we said that uh, this course, it's not like a classroom where you go and sit and learn theories. This is a plug and play. So you come in whatever situation you're in. You don't have to come up with marketing jargons. And after all, branding is not limited to marketing. Branding is everywhere. You can brand yourself as a person, like as a politician. You can brand yourself as a consultant. You can brand yourself as a preacher. You can brand yourself an organization, from governments to businesses to nonprofits.
By the way, it's not just business, right?
Yes. So you come as you are, and in whatever state you're in, even one word, I mean, three word sentence.
That's it.
I'm stuck. That's enough.
Actually, Mhando's very good at just 3-word sentences. So let's say money comes to you and they say, look, I want to start out, in business consulting. But I know there are a lot of people in the market. So what do I need to know to make sure that, I'm doing, like, make sure that I can distinguish myself, make sure that people will see me. Remember when we had the last call that somebody said, like, when I say I'm in HR consulting, they're like, yeah, well, we know a bunch of people in HR consulting. So what new thing could you possibly give us? What are some of the questions that you might ask Imani for them to start giving you a clue of how then you would, recommend or you would advise them to position?
Right. So one of the very first questions to build the foundation is, why are you in that particular business? Or why do you want to branch yourself or branch your business the way you want it to be? And then after that, who is it for? Who are you building this brand for? Wow.
I mean, let's not even talk about brand, because brand comes later, just in case people are like, what do you mean? I don't even know what a brand is. So it's just very simply,
sure.
Who are you targeting?
Who are you targeting? Who's your tribe up there?
And if, let's say, I come in and I say, I want to offer business consulting. Somebody could even come in and ask, do you think, and I get this a lot, do you think there is a market for what I want to do? You probably ask them to be more specific, like, okay, business consulting could be anything. And so I don't know. You see, I'm asking questions and now I'm answering the question. Being a consultant, look at me, like I'm also doing the thing myself instead of letting him do that. And then what do you do with this after they've answered these questions? Why I want to do this, what it is I want to offer, who I want to offer it to. Because you know what, I've seen and I've mentioned this so many times on personal excellence videos and in advising and everything, is that there is often a disconnect between the vision you have, including the vision and the goals, the financial goals, what I do, how I'm going to price it, what I'm going to sell it for, and how much I'll make back. And then especially when I look at the market, what other people are doing, I can easily make this. There's often a disconnect between the vision you have, the things you put in place, and the reality of what comes out. And you're just thinking, but it does not make sense that what I am doing doesn't translate, to the money that I want. And I just want to share this real quick before he continues. I made this mistake in a big way in my business. So I've been building professionals, right? For competitiveness in the market. So building African professionals for competitiveness in the market. And I didn't realize, because the first inroad for me when I started business was how I saw graduates, especially from where I come from, not being able to, to do well when they go into the market. And many people who really just gone through an educational system that prepares you to do very well in terms of marks, but not to really have transferable skills, the market needs. In my head then, as a business person, I saw that as an opportunity to prepare, our workforce, but I didn't realize the way I was branding, I was speaking to university students, I was speaking to out of school youth. I was really targeting the youth constituency. Anybody hearing me saw me like as an NGO that really has a heart for the nation, which I do, a heart for youth, which I do. And then after a while, we were wondering why we weren't making the money from that. Like, there's a real need in the market. But guess what? We were talking to the youth, trying to give them products that only employers and only businesses could afford.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't talking to businesses. We weren't talking to employers. We were talking to the youth. But the youth didn't have the money to pay for our services. And so we had to pivot. We were branding all wrong. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, I mean, there was a point where people thought it was like a government initiative. Like, oh, wow, what you're doing to build our people. And that's not so like, no, but this is a business. Like, these are services, corporate services. And it was a branding issue. Right. And so we had to pivot then. You know, what then do we do? How do we build their capacity, but have somebody paying for it? And so I think this could also be another thing. Like, you have this vision and this thing you want to do, and you're thinking, why isn't it translating monetarily? Well, you're not being very clear, and you're not thinking through, you know, how you're positioning, how you're presenting yourself, and you're attracting the wrong thing. So it's like, you know, you're doing business and you're saying, I keep on attracting people that want to borrow. I keep on attracting people that, you know, just drop the contract halfway through. I keep on attracting people. Then those aren't your clients. I keep on attracting people who say I can get it cheaper elsewhere. I keep on attracting people who want a heavy discount. You know, I keep on attracting people who will just take the minimum from me and then they go do it themselves. Then you're not speaking to the right people. You watch how you're speaking, and also the terms of your services. Because if you are truly targeting the right people, they'll understand your language and they will be able to, you know, do that business with you. They see the value of what you're offering and what you're pricing it at and how you are approaching them. But you have to be very clear. Let's see if you're not speaking Swahili. Why am I speaking Swahili when not everyone's a Swahili speaker? But yeah, so what do you do with that information that you get from the discovery call?
So after the discovery call, as I said before, that it's going to be the foundation of the course itself. Because
so you take that information and what? You create a course out of it, or you already have a course, but that information helps you with that person?
We already have a course. But as we said in the previous session last week, that every participant in the course, they are going to have tailored content for the course, because it's not going to be like one size fits all type of course. It's going to be tailored for each participant in a way that it addresses the specific needs of the business, specific needs of the strategy that they need to position their brand out there. And so it's, as we said before, it's a 4-week course. And in the first week, we're going to start with positioning your brand in the marketplace. And positioning your brand, many people think maybe to have a physical presence, or maybe to have a website, or to have a social media account, but it's not that. That's not it. Positioning your brand is the way you project your brand and to make your niche or your market or your tribe to fall in love with your brand.
I like the falling in love. And of course, speaking with my husband, the falling in love. It sounds right. Listen, just to make it very clear, branding is a deliberate, ongoing, you never stop branding. So it's not like after this course and people set things up, that's it. You know, you continuously look to reinvent yourself. I mean, with anything, you were just talking about love. You know, I got to put love in. You don't get, I got married, so sit. That's it. You get what you get and you don't get upset. No, like you continuously, you want to keep things spicy, you want to keep things interesting, you want to get your herd in, and you want to get. So branding is an ongoing, my husband's like, oh my goodness, the wife I married. Branding is an ongoing process to create a certain image or impression of yourself to those that you want to speak to those that you are targeting.
Right.
And so initially it's to the clarity. Who are you speaking to? Who are you targeting? What do you want to say to them? Because the big thing is very simple, like simple business language. Translate this to any language. The whole aim of business, or any other organization, any other enterprise for that matter, is to attract, retain, and to grow your clients. If it is a church, attract, retain, and to grow. I don't necessarily mean the people who sit on the chairs, but I mean, help people grow. Everything that you're doing is to attract those that will stand with you, the stakeholders that you want to engage, retain them, obviously, and to grow them, both them growing, if it's business buying more from you, or, also spreading the word so that other people also want to do that. That is the whole aim. And so it is so key that, you get clarity on who you're speaking to, but you continue to be sensitive to their needs so that you can position, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm going to go off camera for a second because I heard a phone and I wonder if my kid's school real quick. We are parents. And then I'll come back. So that's week 1. What is week 2?
Week 2 is going to be about pitching your brand. So we have already determined the position of your brand, and we have established what needs to be done to position your brand in the market or in the niche that you're targeting. And you have all it takes to take your brand out there to your clients. Now comes the time to communicate your brand. And that's where pitching your brand comes into place. And in this segment, or this second week of the course, we go step by step to see how you can message, the way you can create a message that will connect with your clients. Because as I said before, that branding is not just that you have a website or a social media account, is the way you message your brand, in that you will connect with those that you're trying to serve. It's one thing to have a product, and it's another thing to connect with people in a way that they appreciate the value of what you have.
And they're ready to voluntarily part with the good earned money.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
To patronize your business, to get your services.
Absolutely. So it comes with all the things about getting a character and connection to your brand.
Ooh, giving character and connection with your brand. I like that.
Absolutely. Every brand needs a character, and every brand needs
I like that.
Connection, sense of connection. That's why if you're a coffee lover like my wife and I, you'll find out that there are so many coffee makers out there. But when you go and want to have a cup of coffee, you would go to a specific coffee shop because of something that is unique, that you feel connection with what they have. And it goes more than to a taste of coffee.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, sometimes a person would go to a coffee shop just because in that place they play a smooth jazz when they're having their coffee. And to them, that is a connection with that brand.
And they have Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
And extra little cookies.
Absolutely.
As many as you want.
So that's the second part of the course, which is going to happen in the second week. And then the third week, we're going to have communicating your brand through written communication, or projecting your brand through written communication. Because you're not going to speak to your clients just by the word of mouth. At some point, you will have to create messages in written form, whether you're trying to create them through social media, whether you're trying to solicit partners to get on board to support your brand. You need some written communication skills that will get them on board. I remember there's a famous story about a man who was sick for a very long time ago, and they all people who were sick, they were placed in this pool, which angels would come and stir the water, and then the person who comes, who goes to that water, which has just been stirred by the angels, then they will get healed. And this man didn't have anyone to help him to get him into the water, and so there came a day he was asked, "Do you want to be healed?" And he started saying, I don't have anyone to help me. Every time the water gets stirred, everyone goes in there, but I'm stuck right here. And the question was, do you want to be healed? And so many times we do that mistake as well in creating our messaging when we try to position our businesses or our brands out there. So in this, in the third week, in the written communication segment, we are going to learn how to write or to put just the right words that the clients need to hear from you.
You know what? That made me think of two things. Well, first of all, I love that story. I was like, what was this story? But copy. So, there are times like you go to, there's this site called upwork.com. Let's say you're looking for freelancers, etc. And those people who do copy, like writing, like they think of the right adjectives to use and right messaging and marketing. And there's this organization, Future Women X. I was telling you about them, futurewomenx.com. And every single word was speaking to me as a woman executive. Like I'm looking, at their site, I'm reading, right? And this is just, at the homepage. And every single word, you can see it is crafted. It is not put to waste. That you as a woman executive, because they're coaching senior women executives, you see this thing speak to you and you are compelled to want to, they were deliberate. Every single word served a purpose. So that, really got to me. And then recently I was looking at Grammarly on one of our laptops, and it not only detects grammar, good or bad, and spelling, good or bad, but it also detects attitude and tone. And so it would give me an emoji according to what you have written and what message that sends. And of course, it runs throughout everything you're going to do on your computer. So an email, it tells you if this email sounds really happy, exciting, hopeful. It sounds like, that you're in anticipation. Does it sound angry? Does it sound commanding, demanding? It tells you. And they tell you like, oh no, snap. No, I did not mean to come out like that. And aren't you grateful you have something like that? Absolutely. Because you could wonder why I have everything set in motion. Why are people not buying from me? Your branding, your messaging, and the communication and the words that you use, and the way that you are, whether it's dress code, it's tone of voice, body language, gestures, all of this speaks and goes to add or subtract.
Absolutely. Actually, a lot of times, every time you interact with any brand, and you go and buy yourself something, may it be a product or service, the thing that we don't realize is that there are very subtle things that we don't easily recognize. That
I'm laughing. Remember the guy who told the reviewer, who said what your problem is? And you continue with that. I want you to give that example as well.
So those subtle prompts that they're being put in different brands that you interact with, and you hardly recognize, they're the ones which make you take action and go support those brands.
I love that.
And so this is what this course is all about.
Oh, this is so good.
The subtlety of positioning your brand and get people support your brand and get people on board to buy your products and services.
That just this is key. I want you guys to get this. I want you guys to truly get what I'm about to say right now. People, as much as they will ask for facts and they will ask for figures, they do not make choices based on facts and figures. Even if the facts and figures make logical sense and the data and the trends, give them an indication of whether to go or not to go. People make emotive decisions. They make decisions based on their heart. They make decisions because they like you, because they trust you, because sometimes it's because you're the same gender, you're the same nationality, you're the same color, because one of the other thing, being consistent, you've consistently been there, your message has been the same, your delivery has been the same, you've never let them down. Or, I have so many people, I kid you not, who say, I've been following you for 10 years, and that's why I signed up to the Masterplan Class. I'm like, you just been watching me for 10 years? Like, didn't let a girl know that you were around? Like, no, I just wanted to see how your things are. Or I've seen my colleagues change, or I cannot tell you how many people are saying, my husband says I've changed so much since I've taken your course. I want to do, the next thing with you. Or, can we look at doing, I have people, or sometimes the spouses look for me. Spouses look for me and tell me that my spouse has changed since working with you. And so people are making emotional decisions. So there you are running your business and everything. You can check every list and you wonder what's not happening. And there isn't just, what did you say, love? There isn't that that they're feeling. And you can influence that by repositioning your brand and the experience people have with you. Absolutely. Like the coffee shop that has maybe smooth jazz and has Wi-Fi and has little biscuits, or I don't know, maybe it's always kept clean, or just there's something, or some people like it, maybe they've got a little flower that's been drawn on the coffee, on the foam, whatever it is, find out who you are speaking to. And this is the other thing. Look, I come from a country, because of a socialist background, we have this thing like, hey man, this is what you get. Take what you get. Do not disturb me, move on. So a lot of the times, that whole thing of customer service, it was always, you get this, be grateful you got it, move along, we have other people to serve. Now that can work against you if you have that attitude in business. I mean, if you have that attitude at all in life. So there are times everything about your business is fine. But when it comes to service, you're just saying, look, that is all there is on the menu, and no, there's no discussion. Did you not look on the dotted line? Just this week, there's a service that I was offering people, and people are like, oh, wow, I am so interested in that, but I just can't sign up now. I've got this thing undergoing. Can we have a conversation? And I have been open to conversation. If you're not going to be open, it could be as simple as that. Everything is fine. The rules, the contract are good. Everybody understands everything, but they ask you for this one thing. Or it's 5 o'clock and that's when you close. And like, I'm so sorry. I've just made it now. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. And I know to get this service will take an hour of your time, but I've come from so far and I don't have any other time. Would you please? The fact that you said yes when you were supposed to close shop, I mean, I'm not saying you should do this and then just entertain people. They will keep coming back to you. They will get that fuel in their car, drive through traffic to keep coming to you. They will ask everybody to come to you. Their children will come to you. Anybody who ever speaks about anything in that industry will come to you. This is why you were saying the last time, why will people line up for one business when there are other options and not go to others? There is something, and it's not always what we think. And that's why you need to find out what is the impression that I want to give. And not even just what I want. The people that I'm speaking to, what moves them? Because I could have one idea of what I want to put out there. They're not interested. Right. Then we have to swallow our pride and say, okay, Mr. Ma'am, what then moves you? And then tailor that.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about week 4. What's week 4?
So week 4 is going to be putting into practice what we have learned for the past 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And sorry, I need to interrupt you. Listen, guys, I'm seeing all the comments. We'll come to them. I just want him to finish and not keep interrupting you. And then we'll come back, right? Sure.
The Q&A. Mm-hmm.
So one of the important elements of week 4 is we're going to have simulated sessions where you will get to practice how to pitch your brand to your potential clients or niche or partners. So we're gonna have a simulated session and you get to practice how to say the right words to the right people, that within 30 seconds you communicate your brand and people go like, wow, I want to buy what you got.
Mm-hmm. And if people push back and they say, no, no, thank you, not really interested, or people push back and say, well, you're doing this, like, why are you doing that? Because I know so and so that's doing that, or that's never worked here. How you come back? Because sometimes how you respond can make or break the deal.
And actually, the whole point of brand positioning, as I said before, it's not to to have something physical or to be in social media. The whole thing of brand positioning is to put your business or you as an individual, as a brand, and then you position yourself in here, in their minds. You win their hearts. So even if they don't say yes at that time, but still there's sorry, Facebook.
Facebook, we had
We're
a
back.
time limit for you. We're back. Uh-huh.
So as long as you have
Even if you don't win them at the
if you
time.
don't- at the time,
Mhm, mhm.
it's already a seed that you have planted
Oh, I
in them,
love that.
and at some point they will come back. And
This
so-
is courting 101,
absolutely.
right? It's like you're planting a seed, you're sowing a seed. So you guys know how I got married to this guy, right? Talking about planting a seed, sowing a seed, even if they don't say yes there and then. But you know, I went down easily. This is so key for us to know. It's a dance.
Yeah.
And because branding is an ongoing process, it isn't a thing you do. But it is so good to get the fundamentals right. You know, when you get certain principles right and you get certain, you know, basic fundamentals right, then you just change it according to scenario. You're not gonna, let's say you have 3 businesses as an entrepreneur. You're not gonna do this course for every single business. No, because you're going to learn, you know, the fundamentals. You're going to get it here first. You're going to get the mindset of it. You're going to understand yourself and your business. You're going to understand the market that you want to target, and what moves them.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are times you're thinking, I either change my product or I change my market. You might have to get to that because you're not doing business for yourself. Even and as a founder of several business over the past, I don't know how many years, I'm going on to 2 decades now, you're not doing business for yourself. You're doing business for them. And so it takes agility, it takes humility, it takes authenticity for you to say, okay, you tell me what it is that you want, and let's see where we meet. And there are times, I mean, I've done this countless times where I say, no, I don't think that will work. You know, I would love to, you know, to meet you there, and you know, we're more or less in a similar area, but I don't think, you know, I can really serve you well, and I would recommend others. I've had several people come to me and say, Vanessa, why are you recommending your competition? Like, get that business, girl. What are you doing? First of all, it sounds crazy, but I don't see people as my competition. I don't. I actually think the more of us that are building people and really equipping them, you know, to be able to do well in their lives, the better, because Africa needs every single one of us, lifting every single one of us up. That's one. But the other thing is, because my heart is in people getting solutions, getting answers, I want them to get them, even if they can't get them to me. But also as a business person, I will want them to get them, but it won't be with me if it doesn't make business sense to me, and they're not who I'm speaking to. And so I will recommend them. And guess what? Many times people have recommended me, either the person who I referred elsewhere, or those businesses that I referred would return the favor. Or, you know, God will just work it that it will come back to me. The fact that you're not even about, I've been to so many stores at home, and you're saying, okay, I can't get this here. Where can I get it? I don't know who else does it. Really? Like, you're the only store you know in the entire industry, you know? But you're like, yeah, actually, so-and-so, I'd recommend so-and-so and so-and-so. I've done that countless times.
Right.
Because you're about serving people who come back to you. I mean, there are times people will say, okay, I'm ready to pay your rate, or I'm ready to do this with you because there's integrity with you. Because you actually mean to do this for me. You're not just doing this for the money. And I understand that there's only so far you can go and you cannot go any further because it may not make sense for you in business. But this is languaging you need to know. And this is relationship and negotiation and a dance you need to know how to have with people. It's not just, this is what I offer, take it or leave it. And you don't just, and this is the other thing that I say often, you don't just do things to compromise. Yeah, I want to establish my name. I want to be seen in the market. Maybe we'll get, are you in this for business? If you're in it for business, look for a way to make business work for you. Otherwise, you will compromise till, I don't know. Then you're not in it for the business. And I made that mistake for a long time. I remember you telling me, like, baby, this is not business. This is some NGO, something you're doing. You're not doing business here with the way that you're offering services. So, week 1 is to learn what my brand is and how best to position it to my market.
That's right.
Week 2 is to find the languaging that goes, and this is not just about selling. This could be, partners and stakeholders. This could be, you said people won't always meet you physically.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be just dealing with your product. I mean, I'm thinking of companies that have been there for centuries, decades and centuries. The founders aren't even there anymore. Yet we still have this brand loyalty that we have to consume from them, like somebody here with Apple. That you're going to, I mean, you don't care who is at the helm, you don't care who the CEO is, you just love their products, you love the experience, you know that it will never do you wrong, and you build loyalty. So the messaging of that, everything about you. The third thing you were saying then is how you communicate that, apart from preparing the messaging, how you communicate. And then lastly is practicing everything. And it's not just practicing the communication but I was reading this book, and guys, I've recommended this, The E-Myth Revisited. He was talking about having your guidelines, having your sales scripts, having your processes, like everything written down, that anybody who steps in can give the same service as you, the same excellent service, that consistently have the same delivery. Have you been to some businesses where people are saying, I want so-and-so, and if so-and-so is not there, they leave?
Right.
You can't afford to have anybody holding your business hostage, even yourself. You tire yourself out. And one way of doing that is to create a brand that you've actually scripted. You are deliberate about, so what kind of colors, what kind of image, what kind of look, what kind of experience do people like? What kind of value-added service do they like? Do they want things delivered? Do they want to come in by themselves? Do they also want their children, taken care of? Whatever it is, just imagine this person, their lifestyle, and what moves them, and cater to them. It sells your business without you trying too hard.
Absolutely.
And this is what the brand strategy course is all about. 2020 has to be about monetizing my people. And it has to be done. I mean, I know this sounds funny, but it has to be done down to a science. You need to be very clear about what it is that you're doing, what it is you want to achieve out of it, including financial goals, and by when you want these goals, to reach these goals. And then create a system and processes through this strategy. Create a plan that will actually get you there, that has a connection between this and the next logical thing I'm doing is this, and the next thing I'm doing is this, so that you can see the efforts I am making and the returns I am getting, that they're actually linked. There is a causal link between what you do and what you get on the other side.
Absolutely.
No stress. And you might get to a point where there's a mismatch between what it is that you want to do and who you want to target. And you have to come to a decision. I need to stop targeting these people. I've had several people this year who are in business. I came to the Masterplan Class. They stopped. They stopped targeting a certain people. They pivoted to others, and they're seeing greater success. But they were so emotionally involved because they started with those people, but it wasn't making business sense. It was making emotional sense. They were making the connections, the relationships, but they weren't seeing the returns. They weren't converting. Or you might actually get to a point and say, well, I'm not ready to do business this way. But either way, it's better to make a quality decision to pull out than just continue with this dead horse into 2020, kind of hoping this will be the year, when there's nothing that you're doing that will give you the results that you're seeking.
Right.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to add. I want to look at comments right now.
I think now we can jump into the last segment of our
What
live talk.
what we have to offer. So
Mhm.
we have the brand strategy course. I've been calling it the Masterplan Class for business because of the fact that, the Masterplan Class takes you from discovering your purpose, knowing your values, understanding why you're here, what it is that you want to do, where you see yourself going, and then working back to actually executing that. And this is the same for your business. Why am I here? What is it I have to offer? To whom exactly am I, do I want to offer it? What is their profile and what are their preferences? And how will I do that? How will I reach them? What is my business model? What is my delivery like? Well, what will their experience of me be like? And then creating a strategy with commensurate plans that get you there. So when I was speaking to you, I was just thinking, okay, so people positioning business, but especially when we're still at the startup and the growth phase, you can't really remove the entrepreneur from the business. So the entrepreneur actually needs to go through a similar process. Mm-hmm. And so there is the brand strategy course, and on top of that, you get the Masterplan class. On top of that, you get a website fully developed. So it's hosted. I don't want to say for free, for benefit. You get a website developed. You get your own domain name. It is hosted for an entire year. You're not paying for it. You have content developed. You have your social media, platforms. If you're on social media, which you must because this is where you're watching us, reviewed. And recreate it to suit this position now that you want to have for yourself as your branding. Plus, that being managed. Or did I just bring that up? Are you managing the social media month to month, or did I make that up? No, you're not. Yeah, okay, sorry. I mean that. Look, I wasn't for the freebies. Now that he's throwing in the freebies, I got excited. Okay, fine. No one's managing social media. Manage your own social media. After the course, you'll be able to. Plus, you have these after the course sessions, and I really love those. Because the whole time you're going through this course, let's say you're in business with colleagues and the other people that you want to make decisions with, you're checking with them like, hey, so this is how it's going, this is how we're going to reposition. It's good after you've taken a step back from the course that there may be some things you see that you want to tweak. And so there are 2 sessions you have with Mando, 2 sessions you will have with me after the course is done, where you've gone and you guys are pulling levers and trying things out in your business context, to come back and have these accountability sessions. So you had the discovery call, then you had the strategy call, then now you have these accountability sessions with us on, okay, so this is how far I've come. This is challenge I'm seeing despite having done that. Or, oh, wow, so after doing that, we've had such an influx of business now, we don't know how to arrange ourselves internally. We didn't have the capacity for that. So you get to have the benefit of these, which are valued between $1,200 and $1,500, to have time with us. And so there is the brand strategy course. There is a $700 Masterplan class added on top of that. There is a $800 website added on top of that. There is a between $1,200 and $1,500, and what else? So we'll just up it to $1,500 executive coaching sessions, 4 of them after that. There is the Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan book, and the African Entrepreneur Startup Checklist on top of that you get. And you could also go for the 32 Steps Career Success and Life and Significance, valued at over $60 on top of that. And if you register by close of business tomorrow, because that's when we close, and we said what it's like 8 p.m. East African time, you get 40% off. So this course by itself is valued at $2,500. 40% of that is $1,000. You get $1,000 knocked off. So for $1,500, you are getting the brand strategy course, which is valued well over $7,000. You are getting the Masterplan class at 700, valued at $700. You're getting the website valued at $800. Just the website and the Masterplan class itself is $1,500. Plus, you're getting the books and you're getting consultation that is worth $1,500 after the course. Some of my people, I do not know what the value of having clarity going into 2020 is for you. I don't know what it would mean for you, for your business, for your colleagues who are doing business with you, for you to be so targeted. One of my colleagues said they now really meet as a team every time they get a client, and they want to look at the returns. Will it be worth the returns to do business at what this, the negotiation that they've made? And everybody, no matter how junior, gets to make the call, whether this makes sense or not. Like, she allows people to turn down business because they could use that time differently in their business rather than just touch things. Yeah, everybody's busy, but they're not seeing the returns. Actually, they're just hiking up overhead bills and not seeing the returns in business. You want to have clarity. You want to make sure that I am visible, I am speaking, I am targeted, I'm speaking to the very right people, I understand them. And so what I'm offering, and not just the product, even the way I'm offering, the terms that, that I'm being flexible about, the additional things that maybe they didn't even ask for, they weren't even expecting, but really add value. Sometimes it's the extras that make people come back. I mean, just
Absolutely.
people make completely emotional decisions. Yes, they look at the figures. Yes, they look at the logic, but then they go by what's in their heart. If getting this level of clarity and somebody to walk with you step by step is important to you, you might want to consider that investment. Plus, you were saying, I mean, this guy is generous. So I thought I was generous, but actually, when I saw that today, I was like, babe, we're not doing, no, this is not going to be business anymore. Like, I don't want to do this.
Absolutely.
But
those
go ahead.
Yes, yeah. Before we sign out, we also have the.
Say you, not me, you.
Okay. I came up with a flexible plan for those of you who would say that, well, I don't want to come up with $1,000 right now because of commitments.
1,500.
Yeah, and all of that. And so, is there any other way to pay or to participate in this course and to have some sort of flexible payment plans? And we have that as well in place.
So you can email us on info@purposeandexcellence.africa if you're considering, listen, I want this. Like, you kind of scared me on the fee though. And many times people get scared on the fee and they don't tell you and they just like disappear. Email us and let us know, because you must know it was him. He has come up with a plan where you can pay per session. So it's 4 distinct sessions. You can pay per session as long as you paid before you hold that session, which then means maybe you're not doing it 4 consecutive weeks, but you're doing it in chunks with time in between. Maybe you do a session a month. That way, whether you're going to make that money in that month and that's when you'll be able to pay, you can do that. So we want to give payment plans. We want to give flexibility. There is that discount. As a matter of fact, if you're ready to commit immediately to make your first installment, we will keep this fee for you, the discounted fee. But we just won't add all those nice freebies. So you will get the course. Yeah, you'll go through the program and you'll have your plan and you'll be able to, like he said, plug and play immediately. But we're just not going to give you the extra website and the extra consultation and the Masterplan class and the books. Well, you'll get the books in PDF, but you won't get the physical copies of the book. So if you're interested in any of this and you want to have a conversation with us, please look for us on info@purposeandexcellence.africa. You can probably just Google our names and you'll get that. And let's have a conversation. We'll schedule a complimentary, no, we're not going to charge you for this, a complimentary call with you to assess your needs and see how you can participate. If you really want to participate and you're just thinking, things are kind of funny on my end right now, don't let that stop you. Have a conversation with us and let's see how we can cater to you.
Absolutely. And in case you're wondering, or you forgot the email that she just mentioned, it's going to be posted on her timeline as soon as we sign off from this live webcast.
Thank you. Guys, thank you so much. You spent an hour of your time with us. We're very grateful, well, close to an hour. Very grateful. It's Modesta and
Muhando. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you for giving us your time to listen to us. And I'm looking forward, Modesta and I are looking forward to seeing you in the brand strategy course.
All right, until then, much love. Mwah, Facebook, mwah, YouTube, mwah, Instagram. I was going to say Twitter. I keep on saying Twitter for Instagram. Just 1 second. Let me see if there are any other comments that I missed out here on Facebook. Great business ideas for brands. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. God bless you, dear. You're doing very good, woman of God. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Oh, wow. So many people have been watching. I'm going to go through. Betha, thank you. Violet, Dumisani, Eda, Anna, Kev, Edwin, Yonam, Guamaka, Benson, Dale, Rebecca, Michael, Baraka, Hildebrand, Isabel, Edna, Nasha, Mwika, Twilumba, George, Victor, Libariki, Rahma, Daniel. Wow, guys. Vivian Kisanga, Alice, Rachel, Mateo, Isaac, Jordan, Lumamba, Pastor Donis. Wow, you guys are so many people. I'm so grateful. Nelson, Earl Mattison, Cusco, Sus. Hey, Susie. G. Oh, guys, we're overwhelmed. Thank you.
Thank you
Wahish, Saba. Guys, thank you. We really pray that 2020 works for you. We go through so many challenges. Everybody does. First of all, there's no reason to go through things alone. This is one thing I've learned. Struggles are similar, whether it's at the individual level or at the business level. They're similar to a lot of people. But also what you don't know, somebody else does and can help you through. What you think is a little, somebody else has no clue about, and you can help them. And don't let they're doing a business, it's so professional, it costs so much. Don't let that get to you. Never. Life will come at you and will want to challenge you. Do not allow yourself to talk yourself out of conversations, to talk yourself out of opportunities. You find out what it takes, and don't say, can somebody like me really? Say, what does it take? And then find a way of making it happen. Don't discount yourself from having greater. Having greater will always come at a cost. It'll require you more time. It'll require you to grow. It might require you investment financially. But at the end of the day, it will be worth it. Do not discount yourself. Do not watch other people make history. Do not watch other people succeed. Count yourself in as one of the people that deserves to. And find out from people such as ourselves, what does it take? And let's look at, we're flexible, we're open. Truly, we care about people succeeding. Let's find a way of making this work for you, please. We want to grow. We want to succeed. We want to have impact, but we want to lift people up as we go up as well. All right, take care. Love you loads. Bye.
Much love you all.
Okay, ending session. And ending live stream.